Hello. Okay, so for those watching now, this is Jupiter in the Great Red Spot. I'm currently shooting it so that I can try and get some data for the upcoming Juno spacecraft, the flyby that's happening soon. On June 2nd, the Juno spacecraft is going to be doing a flyby. So I'm going to try and get some data so that if it's useful to them, they can plan their flight path. I'm not the only one doing this. All amateur planetary imagers are kind of called upon at these times to hand out data. So that's what this is for. If I can get this in better focus. The atmosphere seems to be popping in and out with some good here and there. So we'll go ahead and grab a little of this luminance now. See how that goes. Okay. Let's do a share of this. Oh yeah, this is going to be Sure did. I got the coffee. Now, question is, current problem is, which filter am I on? Either on blue or green, I think. Okay, so this is going to be green. Let's forward some, and then actually warm. Nice. Okay, so this is red. Ah, yeah, red's looking good. Not too shabby. So this is red. Okay. So for those joining the stream now, I'm shooting Jupiter and the Great Red Spot. In a specific, I'm trying to shoot it at this specific time if I can get some decent data, because as my friend Clyde, that I talk about every live stream, has mentioned, this is the time when NASA's Juno project, this Juno spacecraft, is going to be doing a flyby for PJ27 pretty soon on the 2nd of June, and it's going to be going around this area there, and they want to know if there's anything really cool or important that we should shoot, or they should focus on. So they're asking amateur astronomers to do our best to send high-resolution Jupiter images their way, and that's what I'm doing. So this is kind of fun. So we've got our red. Okay, so we've got a red that's do my crude filter forwarding. Move forward to, this is either going to be L, it should be luminance. It's cold, so the filter wheel is moving much slower than normal. Okay, so that's IR. I have my filters messed up. Okay, that's fine. So it's IR. And then, so next will be Lune. So let's move to Lune next. So it's funny how this works. I'm actually controlling the filter wheel, the manual process, sending it commands. There's luminance, IR, L, B, G, R. Okay. Basically keeping track of my filter positions manually, which is a little bit of a show, dog show, but hey, you know, this is how we do things when things break. Okay. Until I write better code for this, this is how I do it. Okay. Nice. So now we are on luminance. And I never use luminance anymore, but it looks nice. And if it ever does work out, it always seems to help. So I'm gonna shoot a little bit of it. Atmosphere seems to get a little dodgy here and there. As it goes. Get back in a good spot. Okay. I used to use luminance all the time, but that was when I got crappy color data. Now I'm trying harder to get better color. Not that I wasn't trying hard before, but I'm just better at getting sharper filters. Things seem to be vibrating a bit now. It's not the greatest. So we're just going to kind of sit around and wait a bit for this to settle down. Give it a shot and see what happens. Maybe it'll be decent. I need to actually find a median point of not bad is what I'm looking for. Median, not bad. I'm really getting some weird, you can see that up and down vibration business happening. It's not that cool. I don't know if it's coming through the live stream that well, but Finding focus is difficult right now. Need to find a decent middle point. That's definitely worse. No. Come on, settle down now. Settle down. Settle down, atmosphere. There we go. Now it's getting a little calmer. Let's go ahead and shoot. Okay. I need to copy this. There. Let's hope we can get something decent. See my profile? Okay. Paste. Oh no, not that. That's the NASA link. That's funny. I almost pasted the NASA link to the failed launch. No. Delete. There we go. Into my profile on Instagram. That would have been funny. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, everybody, we are live now on Instagram, doing some Jupiter imaging. Right now with the Great Red Spot and trying to get some decent image of it so that, you know, maybe they can plan the Juno mission. I don't know, maybe they'll use my stuff, maybe they won't, but we'll find out. So anyway, we're live now, link in profile. Okay. Good enough. What did I accidentally do? Oh my goodness. we need to move forward a filter though, before I get too busy with this business. The scene just went downhill. Let's hope it comes back. I'm switching now to the blue filter. So that's why it kind of went away and came back. And I'm going to have to move forward a little bit more with the filter wheel. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so that's blue. And wow, that doesn't actually look too bad as far as this goes. Blue is always difficult. Hey, Marlon. Mexico, right? Marlon's joining us from Mexico, I believe, if I remember from previous streams. Jupiter's looking okay. For the people that are just joining in, I am imaging at this point in time on Jupiter mostly because the Juno spacecraft is actually going to be doing a flyby on June 2nd. And what they do, what NASA does, and for the Juno mission is they actually call on amateur astronomers like myself and anybody who wants to shoot or can shoot high-resolution Jupiter images of the path that the actual spacecraft is going to be flying, and so that they can plan their imaging on Jupiter with the Juno spacecraft. So anyway, so amateur folks like myself, we can submit our images to NASA, and then they can look and decide where to aim the super fancy spacecraft camera. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get some sort of decent coverage of that, and to add, just throw my images in the hat. So yeah, it's big and easy to find. The gassy giants, yeah, they're definitely easy to find. You have to, follow your nose. So yeah, I asked people on Twitter to come and pepper me with bad jokes about gassy giants, and it looks like someone may have listened. So anyway, I'm going to move on to green. That was blue. My filter wheel broke. My motorized filter wheel broke. The software kind of lost its brain, so now I actually had to write some code, just some serial scripts actually, using a serial console, and so I'm controlling it manually via serial commands to tell it when to turn. Okay, so this is green. Yeah, and that red spot is also kind of popping in the green. I'm going to try and get that focus as good as I can. Ooh, that's not bad. Not bad. It's not looking too bad, actually. I hope everybody can hear me okay. Yes, it looks like I'm unmuted. Yo, that is nice, actually. Let's go ahead and shoot that. Shoot it. No. Whew. I almost clicked the wrong button. I'm like all excited now. Okay. Don't tease. I mean, tease all you want. I love it. Bring the heckles on. I used to, I used to actually play in a band, a few different bands, just local bands where I used to live in the States. And the best thing about being on stage was getting heckled, because we just played bars and, that kind of stuff. And so we'd get the drunk people heckling us on stage, and that was probably one of my favorite things. It is cold inside my house. So, thing is, here in South Africa, it doesn't get cold very often. So they don't build houses to withstand cold. I don't have any sort of heating or cooling in my house whatsoever. So when it's cold outside, it is cold inside. Okay, so let's move on to red. And that means I run my move forward one filter script. So it looks like I just had a little connection issue. Okay, we're on red now. This is cool. See, my little script thing actually works. I'm not so dumb. Yes. Okay, so red is looking okay. It's actually looking pretty decent tonight. I'm not gonna complain too much with this view, because a couple of days ago, the last time I shot this, it was horrible. Like horrible with a capital horrible. And so tonight it's actually pretty pretty okay. This is the gassiest of all the giants in our solar system. Oh no, that's looking pretty good. I'm not going to complain about that. Every once in a while it pops in and then comes back. Move that back in the middle. Oh, I shouldn't have moved it while it's shooting, but it's fine. So if you guys see, no. So gas, much giant. It's good, Kevin. I think you can do better though. You can do better with the gas giant jokes. Okay, how about this joke? So people are shooting methane, because methane is pretty important on Jupiter. And yeah, there's a methane outburst near the red spot right now. So, let's talk about that methane outburst on the Jupiter GRS. So let's see, we were on red, now we're on IR. Let's move forward again, because we're not going to shoot infrared. We're going to shoot LRGB. And I need to get ready to move forward some more, because it's not even in there. There it is. There's Loom. Not quite centered, but centered enough. That's not looking too great. Loom isn't good enough to shoot. Sorry, Loom, you're not getting any love. So we're just gonna go ahead and move this forward some more and move on to blue. We're gonna have to move it forward some more. Blue looks better than Loom. How the heck is that? Is my focus that bad? I wouldn't think so. I mean, come on. That's just rude. Whoa. Did I just ruin the cutout? Damn it. That's a problem. Okay. So there's blue. Blue is not so bad. Wow, this is like some of the best blue I've seen in a while. Let's shoot it while it's good. Jeez. We'll take that. You know? Hey? Hey? Whew. Not bad. Hello. Hello. Oh, wow. That's, okay. How do I say that name? I don't know how to say this name. Ojo de Horus. Or Horus. I'm going to have to defer to the judges on that because I have no idea how to say your screen name there. But hello, thanks for joining. If you guys have any questions about what we're seeing tonight, let me know. I'll do my best to answer. And we will go from there. So I'm shooting LRGB. Actually, I'm shooting just RGB Jupiter tonight. And I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna copy. Screw it. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm just gonna do this and then do a nudge. Because I'm gonna have to nudge. And so we'll move on to green next. Shoot some green. So we just basically shoot red, green, and blue all in a row. Well, all of a sudden, we need to shoot right now because this is looking quite nice. Maybe do a little tweak of the focus. This is good. This is good. This is really good. All of a sudden the atmosphere is playing along. So, Eye of Horus. Cool. You are the Egyptian god, the Eye of Horus. I love it. Thanks for joining us. Please bless this, thing with your Egyptian godness. And I hope I don't have to pay for this appearance. But cheers to you. Okay, cool. You're looking at the eye on Jupiter right now. This is the eye of Jupiter, eye of Horus. It's really cool. It's like 1 degree Celsius outside, and it's probably 5 degrees Celsius inside because my house, and just like every house in South Africa, is not built nicely for any sort of real weather here in South Africa. So it's flipping cold. We're gonna move to red now. As soon as red gets here, the filter's moving. We're gonna have to nudge it forward, I'm sure, as usual. Yep. Sorry to block the view, but I need to go. There we go. Okay, now we're centered nicely. Okay. Actually center the planet a little bit while I watch it and wait for some decent. Tweak the focus a little. So, do you guys want to see like the whole computer screen? Is it more exciting to see like all of my control stuff? It's not that, I don't think it's that exciting. I think the actual Jupiter is more exciting to have Jupiter be bigger like this, but is it better to see like the whole control interface for you, or what? Let me go ahead and shoot while the shooting's good here. So let me know if you have any questions or anything. I can definitely answer them while I'm doing this. I can almost see my breath indoors. It's not nice. I can't believe I rewrote my whole filter list that I had. I keep a little list of my filters on my second monitor here, and I wrote it wrong, like an idiot. So stupid. So I was confused as to which particular filter I was using, which is pretty dumb. So pretty cool stuff. I love this. Okay, Okay, so we're done with red. Let's move on to, we're gonna go back to blue now. Okay, so now we gotta go forward by 2 filters, 3 filters actually. Because we're on red, so then we're gonna go to infrared. And then from there to lume, and then there to blue. So did you guys see I actually gave my little observatory a name. It's called Greenside Observatory because it has green sides. It's super fancy that way. Green tarps, you know, green plastic tarp sides. Okay, cool. We're on luminance now, and that's why it's so bright. Okay. Move it forward a little bit more. Move it forward a little bit more, and then change filters again. Okay, cool. So now, we're about to get back to blue eventually here. That was lume. Now we're going to be on. There's this blue. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Now I have to move forward a bit more. Stop. Whew! Almost went fast. Okay. So we're back on blue. Let's see, it's pretty stable. I'm pretty happy, I'm not gonna lie. For blue, this is great. Yeah. We'll stick with that. I like it. All right, I'm back. Okay, now we just did blue. I hope that was nice. Let's switch over to green. Apologize that you have to see the screen, but that's just the way it is until, you know, I get either a new filter wheel or I get this thing actually fixed with better code. Let's nudge it forward now. Okay, so this is green. Green's looking decent. I'm gonna tweak this focus just a little. let's put it the good way though. Let's make it a little bit better, not worse. And that's pretty good. Yeah, I'll shoot that. Okay. I think everybody is tired of space live streams after the failed launch attempt of the Dragon spacecraft today. So that was green. Let's move on to red. See, this is a little bit different than what a lot of people might do. Usually, even myself, usually I'll shoot red, green, then blue. But because of the way my filters are set up in the wheel, I shoot kind of backwards. I'm currently shooting blue, green, then red. And I'm controlling the filter wheel with serial commands directly over the USB serial port of the filter wheel itself. And that's why I'm doing it manually like this. So I wrote some scripty business to control it manually like that. Let's move this back into the middle. There we go. So this is red. Red's looking pretty good. Ooh, it's getting brighter. That's good. That means less stuff is in the way. So the brighter it is, the less atmosphere is in the way. Less atmosphere is in the way, the clearer the image is going to be, and the higher the resolution of the final image. So that's always pretty nice. Okay, cool. That's pretty good for focus. Maybe, jeez. You know, one of these days I'll have nicely, perfectly stable skies to shoot through. I don't know when that day is going to be, but, you know, someday. And so yeah, we're focusing on Jupiter, specifically because of the Juno spacecraft, Parajove 27. So their flyby number 27 of the Juno spacecraft is coming up in just a few days, and they want us to get this area. Amateur astronomers like myself and submit those images to NASA's Juno mission, so that they can get some good data. Okay, let's move back to blue. It's more exciting anyway. I'm gonna copy some more of these sensor readings into this, because when it's super cold like it is now, it needs a little bit more. The filter wheel's moving slower because of the cold, and I'm not using the sensors in the code or in the script. I'm actually using the sensors just so I can kind of watch and I know when things are centered. The next one will be Loon. That was IR. That was infrared. This is going to be Loon. It's going to be really bright. Forward some. Okay, and so it's super bright because of the settings for blue are different than the settings for. I'm gonna have to nudge it quite a bit now. That's fine. Okay, so here we are on blue. Don't change. Okay, good. Let's give it a nudge, just a small nudge. I'd like to get this set up with actual buttons. Okay, so here's blue, looking better. Not bad for blue. Not terrible. I've seen worse. Especially in the live feed. This isn't that much different than what stack usually looks like, to be honest. And when that's the case, just shoot the hell out of it. Rip this in half. This is wrong. Why was Jupiter banned from competing in the planetary boxing match? Asks Kevin. Geez, I don't know. I can't even think of a good fake punchline that's wrong. Why was it banned, Kevin? Why was Jupiter banned from competing in the planetary boxing match? You tell me. I want to know the punchline. By the way, I do like dad jokes. I'm a huge fan. So. He took asteroids. He took asteroids. Oh, I am gonna steal that joke. I'm gonna steal the crap out of that joke. Oh, that's good. I mean, it's terrible, but that's what makes it good. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Kevin. Very good. I assume you're like Googling bad Jupiter jokes. I am almost on it with this filter. It just takes a bit of a filter thing and then a nudge. Not bad. Nudge it one more. Okay. And we're on green. Oh, that's such a bad joke. I love it. I love it. Bad dad jokes are the best jokes. I think green was kind of on it with our focus there. Geez, actually, that's great for green. That looks nice. You know, if you don't agree with me, then you're just wrong, because that looks really good for a live telescope. Nice capture of the great red spot. Glenn Orton, Juno investigator. Well, I'm trying, Glenn. I'm really trying. I'm trying hard here. Seeing conditions are actually pretty decent here in Johannesburg right now, so hopefully I can get some good data and smash together an image to send through. Thanks for joining the stream, Glenn. Get that centered a little better. Yeah, so this is the green filter. I'm going to move on to red. It's in about 4 seconds here. Okay, green done, red. Let's move forward. So it's moving now. Oh, nice. Next Monday, to imaging one of the mid-infrared. Oh, that'll be cool. That'll be really cool. I'd love to see that, actually. I wish you could live stream. Let's nudge this forward. Okay. Red. Ooh. Well, there we go. Adjust that focus a little bit. It's odd tonight. It's very strange. Blue and green actually look better than red in the live feed. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty decent. Yeah, that looks pretty nice actually for this feed. Thanks, Clyde. So for people watching the stream, and if you're watching the comments, my friend Clyde Foster, he's also in the Johannesburg area in Pretoria. And he's, one of the top planetary imagers in the world. And I've been working with him to try and get my system set up here in Joburg, about 40 kilometers away from him. And so we communicate every day and talk about, what we're seeing and how the atmosphere is going to behave. And it's weird, even with this 40 kilometer difference between Clyde and I, we actually get different atmospheric conditions. And usually, he's been at this for longer than I, so usually even if I have better atmospheric conditions than him, he'll still make a better image. But I'm getting there, I'm working on it. Okay, cool. So let's move back to blue. I'm just going to try and do this as quickly as I can. Let's move forward one filter. Yes. And then we're going to have to nudge that, so we're on red. We're going to go to infrared. We're going to pass by the infrared, and then we're going to do straight to blue. Oh, did I go past it? What's my numbers? No, I didn't. Okay. All right, let's do this again. Let's do forward some. Okay, cool. Now we're smack in the middle of that filter. Then let's do this again, so we can get to blue. Okay, the filter is moving. There we go. Now we're on loom. Let's skip this. Go straight to blue. Actually, gonna have to give it another nudge. Come on. There we go. Yeah. Let's center that filter a little bit better. Some more. So basically we've done that. Okay, cool, perfect, right in the middle. Blue is looking a little shady, but not horrible. There, that's better blue. That's a little bit better. Okay, let's see if we can wait out a little bit better seeing conditions here. Hey, Anthony. Yeah, everybody, sound off. Where are you from? Where's everyone from? Where are we? We've got viewers from all around the world usually, so. I was wondering if anybody would even want to show up and watch tonight, because they might be tired of all the space live streams because of the Dragon mission. Kind of a bummer to see the weather take that one out, but it's, better safe than sorry. That's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and shoot that. It got a little wobbly there, but the focus is pretty decent for this stream, so let's see what we can do. So it's bouncing around a little bit more because I realized I can get a better image if I use only one centering software centering routine with this fire capture software that I'm using. Before, to make things super stable, I was using the auto align feature in fire capture, which makes sure that the planet is center of mass right in the middle of the frame. And then I was also using this cutout box, this white frame that you see around there. And because, cool, Pasadena, California, Arcadia, California. Oh, that's interesting. Arcadia, California. I forgot those in Arcadia. There's quite a few of those in the States, actually. So that was blue. Let's move to green. My father is actually from Arcadia, Iowa, of all things. A really tiny town in Iowa. And I spent a lot of my childhood there, actually. Yeah, I'm sure they're used to the weather delays. It's probably not even a big deal. It's just extra practice for those launches, which I can imagine there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of extra practice with something like that. Okay, let's nudge it forward a little bit for the green, get it right dead center in the filter. There we go, that's good. Focus is actually not bad. That's better. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's capture this. You know, there's a chance we might get some decent data out of this. There is a chance. Cool. So I think after maybe this and maybe one more color imaging run, I might switch to my infrared and shoot a bunch of infrared. It's 5:45 a.m. You can see the local time in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. It's almost 6 o'clock. It's still dark out, but you know, it's going to start lightening in the sky a little bit here sometime soon. So I'll get some color data while this, and then when it starts to get lighter, I'll switch to infrared. But I want to get some infrared when the GRS is dead center. Glenn, maybe you could tell me, like, what's the most valuable? Is just anything valuable, or infrared versus RGB? What's the best thing? Yeah, let's hope the weather's good. Okay, so this is red. I'm going to center the filter a little. I'll give it 2 nudges here. It looks like we're going to need 2. So now we're on red. My histogram looks good. Actually center it in the flipping telescope here. There we go, that's better. Now, if I can get this focused nice, actually finish this particular cut. Ooh, yeah. There we go, that's pretty good. I'll take that for red. So for the people watching, if you haven't done any imaging of anything with color filters, so I'm using a monochrome camera and color filters, and the reason the red spot disappears, kind of, or becomes a lighter, color in red, is because it is red, and it's got a lot of red in it, and because of that, when you look at it with a red filter, the brightest thing in that filter is the red, and so when you combine those color channels, red, green, blue, into one image, it's going to let more red through, and so that's why it's brighter in the image. Okay, Oh, 890. No, I've got 742 nanometer. I've got an IR 742. That's the only infrared I shoot with. So everything I shoot is always IR 742. So let's do one more color run, and then I'll switch to IR 742. Yeah, it's still looking good. My side too, Clyde, the seeing conditions. Okay, so that was red. We're gonna switch to IR and then switch to blue, and then switch to blue again. So I'm on my way to blue to do another color run. So you're going to see the filter wheel. It's the anti-blue spot. Okay, so this is Lume now. That's why it's so bright, because it's basically just a clear piece of glass that blocks IR and UV, but lets everything else through in the visible spectrum. I'm switching to blue. That's where my filter wheel starts. So there's blue, and we see that red spot just pop nicely. Centering the filter here, because we need to be in the center of this filter to have it be the best. There we go. Perfect. Perfectly centered in the filter. I'm getting a little bit of wobble in that atmosphere, but that's okay. I'm not going to complain, because this is still way better than it's been in the past few days. Got some heat currents happening here in the atmosphere. You can see that kind of. Okay, cool. That's pretty good for blue. Jeez, I'm not going to complain at all. Wow. Not a bit. I'm not even going to touch focus. That's pretty good. Okay, I touched focus. I shouldn't have. I'll move it back. What? You left Jupiter, Clyde? That's actually probably not a bad idea. I'm just going to focus on this now. So I'm going to do this color run. So I'm going to do this blue, green, and red, and then I'm going to switch over to infrared and do a bunch of infrared stuff on this area. So we'll do some infrared. Okay, so that was blue. Let's switch over to green. Okay, so this is green. My filter changes a little bit better that time. Just need to give it one little nudge now. Okay, green's looking pretty good. As is. I'm going to spend just a moment here adjusting the focus a little bit. Try and get it a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. Okay. Maybe it doesn't look like much better on YouTube, but it's much better as far as I'm concerned. Okay, very cool. I'm not going to complain with that. No, that's nice. You guys are getting a nice view of the GRS live right now. So if I remember correctly, when we started tonight, we started right around when the GRS was over here, which is more of where it's going to be when the Juno spacecraft starts. It's going to start up here and kind of move across the GRS and then end up down here, I believe, and get that area. So pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's move over to red. Yep, I can see my breath indoors. It's cold. I would not want to be outside doing this. If you look at that view of my telescope, you can actually see my super awesome, legit cabling job that I've done. What? You can see the one cable hanging off by the counterweight, and that is the only cable I have to worry about, if anything, and I pretty much don't. So I can do unattended meridian flips now, which I'm super stoked about. Okay, I can do better. I'm going to nudge it a little bit more, and then we'll finish this red, and we'll just capture a whole bunch of infrared. Okay, red. Now. Nope, that got worse. I'm adjusting the focus, and then I'm going to go ahead and capture this. If anybody has any questions... Oh, thanks, Glenn. Yeah, so Glenn says my line of the Parajov 27 is correct. That's about as good as we're going to get in red, so we're going to go ahead and capture that. I'm going to leave it where it is. That's looking much better in red. See, how I know the focus is in is because I can see some contrast in the north equatorial band here, this dark area. It's a little bit lighter with a lighter area in the middle. When it's really good, and we'll see how good the data is now, when it's really good, you can actually see like a gap in between, not in red, but you can see a gap above the red spot, which we could see in blue and green. You can sometimes see, in the live feed, you can sometimes see contrast in the polar region area here. You can see like a darker area, which you can sort of make out there in this polar region on both sides, but you can definitely make it out on this is the south, actually it's upside down in my telescope. So you can see that darker area, and then the lighter area, and then the darker area. That's actually, what it looks like. And you can, if you squint and kind of stand on one leg, you can see this. This is looking good. I'm going to shoot another red just because maybe I can derotate that into a nice version of red to use. So, yeah, so you can see these striations in the clouds, these lines. Very, very good. Let's see. Broader views of the southern hemisphere as Parajov is well north of the... Okay. Yeah, I wish I could... It's hard for me to get good data on the upper, and lower polar regions, just because, I don't know. That's when you can nail it. Juno PJ27 is on June 2nd, I believe, is the date. So just a few days away. So basically I've only got about one or two more opportunities after right now to shoot to try and support the PJ27. So that's why I'm out here now and making it happen, which is great because this is actually working out nice. The seeing is good. So anyway, I'm going to switch to infrared now. So this is going to be 742 nanometer infrared. I'm going to have to refocus this quite a bit because my focus for infrared is... Okay, cool. Filter is centered in the scope. And then we can shoot just like a whole bunch of these in a row. And I'm going to need to shoot a wide field image as well for my alignment. I mean, this looks like it's in focus, but it's actually... Okay, cool. Yes, I was right. it is indeed June 2nd for PJ27. Glenn has confirmed. Pump the gain a little bit on this. I'm about 85%. On the histogram. And sorry, infrared is quite a bit noisier, which is okay. I'm going to move that up to 20 milliseconds so I can drop that gain. I don't like the gain up that high on the camera. There we go. We'll move down to about 85%. So we can do this. Try and nail this focus. If possible. Okay, it got worse. So my focus for my infrared filter is a little bit different than the focus for the RGB filters, so I actually have to do quite a bit of adjustment. There we go. Okay, so I kind of found it bad. Gotta dance around the outsides of focus until you can get it into a nice tight focus, which getting there. I'm looking at the limb and I'm looking at the actual planet features. Yeah, Glenn, it could be because of that. Also because, so the RGB filters came in a set that are supposedly parfocal filters, and they're all exactly the same thickness and of glass, and the mounting is exactly the same on all of them, and the mounting on the infrared filter that I have is different than those, and so the actual distance from the glass of the filter to the camera sensor is slightly different. It's just enough to make focus a little bit different. And there, I'm gonna have to say that's probably about as good as I'm gonna get. Kind of dancing around here, I can see some detail. There we go. Okay, so I can see a little bit of contrast popping in on the poles. Okay, I'm gonna recenter this in the scope now. Okay, so there's that. Now, let that go, and let's see. That's good. Let's set the limit to, let's see, 90 seconds. That's fine. Okay, we're just gonna do a whole bunch of captures in a row of infrared, and try and tweak this focus as it's capturing. I think that's pretty decent actually. The limb, the bright limb of Jupiter here isn't too fuzzy. You can see the GRS. You can see these features here. It's strange because infrared almost looks the worst on the screen, but it's always the sharpest after it's stacked and processed. Almost always the sharpest. So we'll see what happens. No, I'm fine now. I'm just going to let this go. You distract me all you want. I love the comments. Well, I talk to myself the whole time while I shoot anyway. So, you're not distracting me, Glenn, at all. Good morning. How's imaging been going? Hey, what's up, Astrophotoid? Imaging's been decent today, actually. The scene conditions have been much more stable than they have in the past, and in the past few days. So it's been pretty good. We just finished with color, RGB color, and now I've switched to infrared, and so I'm just going to get a bunch of captures of infrared in a row. See if I can get some good stuff and derotate that in WinJupos later. As soon as this is done, I'll stack that data and do my best there. Now it's been cool. Oh, the lower signal to noise. Yeah, that's also possible. If I had bigger glass, it'd be better. Ooh, it's getting quite a bit softer now. It's not that nice. Oh, there it popped back in. Definitely some atmospheric turbulence going on up there. Anthony Cook asks, could the softness with infrared be just because the wavelength is longer so the resolution is correspondingly lower? Sure, maybe. I don't really know. It's hard to say. I can't say. All I know is what I've seen. It's weird because like once you process it, the infrared is actually quite a bit sharper, and when seeing is good, infrared just looks good. It's always more stable. It looks more stable on the screen in this live view like this. So it's like one of those things that I've always. I'm gonna tweak this focus a little bit more. Nope, that was worse. Okay, I think I had that sweet spot. As good as it's going to get for IR. So we're going to just stick with this and let the atmosphere move it around. But yeah, I think also the thing is that the wavelength is longer, but this is actually a much narrower filter. It lets in a lot less light than the RGB filters do. So the other cool thing about this IR 742 filter is that this is invisible to the human eye. So like what we're looking at is actually, you know, just outside the visible range. Oh, and you can see, I just now noticed, I haven't even been looking at my scope camera. You can now see the sky really starting to brighten in the background there, that purple sunrise sky. So as soon as the sunrise comes, it makes it even worse. Adds that heat to the atmosphere, and everything starts to get a little bit turbulent. So, okay, good. I see. What is that? Ganymede? Yeah, that's Ganymede over to the right. Oh, you can't see it because my stupid face is in the way. Let me move my camera over a little bit. I'm going to move myself into the middle. I'll move myself up here and move this up there. Now you should be able to see Ganymede. There's Ganymede there. I believe that's Ganymede, or is that Io? It's flipped. Yeah, that's Ganymede and Europa. Oh, hello. Can you see them both? Almost. Let me make this view bigger so you can see it, because it's cool. So that's there. I'm actually going to move this thing just so you can see it, because it looks cool. There's Ganymede and Europa. There. So we're capturing Jupiter and taking a look at Ganymede and Europa at the same time. That's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, there we go. That's rad. Yeah, definitely. I can shoot infrared during the day, you know, almost. Almost shoot it during the day. I'm going to see things kind of slip around my polar alignment. Well, actually, the scope isn't as solid as I would like sometimes, so things do shift around, and that's why I've got all these auto-centering routines going. But as the temperature and everything changes, I might have to adjust the focus a little bit more as well, because that is a concern. Whoops. There we go. Not that much. Trying to get the view so it looks cool. Whoa, easy there, Shaky Pete. Calm down. Bouncy scope. Okay, cool. There we go. Let's capture. What? There we go. It's hard to get both moons into view at the same time, so I'm just gonna have to deal with just Ganymede. Sorry about that. Anyway, this moon down here, this is Ganymede. And then just outside the field of view is Europa. And this, obviously, is Jupiter. So, play with this focus a little bit, see if I need to make any small adjustments. Ooh, not bad. Got a little more contrast. Maybe. Yeah, the focus hasn't changed too much yet. That's good. I'm just get a whole bunch of these captures, and then hopefully, you know, we'll get some decent stuff out of the deal. It's always fun to stack and then like look at your stacks and see if you got anything. Ganymede's officially my favorite moon though, because Ganymede is the only moon I've ever gotten any sort of surface detail on. And I swear sometimes if you look at it close enough, you can kind of see that surface detail in you see like a little bit of a dark line kind of down the middle of it sometimes, if its rotation is right, and you can see that difference between the dark patches and the light patches. So yeah, when I can see, definitely if I can see the moons, I use them for focus. You know, right now I'm looking at Ganymede, and it's pretty good as far as that focus is concerned. So I'm pretty happy actually with the focus as it is right now, believe it or not. So the atmosphere it's not bad. It's not bad right now. I'm cautiously optimistic about image quality today. So yeah, I mean, I can look at the moon now and I'll move around with the focus to see if I can, yeah, see it got worse. I'll move it back to where it was. And I'm pretty sure my judgment was, yeah, and then it got worse again. Actually, that's pretty good now. If I definitely, okay, that's worse. That's better. I'm looking at both the planet and the moon now. It seems to be pretty good. Sucks because it, jumps around no matter what with the atmosphere. That's pretty good. I'm gonna go with this for a little while. Shoot a few of these. So you can see in the telescope view, you can actually see the my observatory, the Greenside Observatory building there behind the scope. So I call it an observatory kind of as a silly little joke, but it's what I've got is actually a structure that I built made of aluminum pipes and covered with 3 different layers of tarp, and it's basically just a big or little structure that when I park the telescope, it goes over top, and it's weather resistant and all that, even wind resistant. We had a really windy day yesterday, and so I added a little bit of wind resistance to it, extra straps. It's actually strapped to the ground. It's not going to blow away with really heavy weights, but it's made of parts from 2 old pool umbrellas and tarps and duct tape and zip ties. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It works. It allows me to be able to be up and running and shooting in just a few minutes. So at night before I take a nap or whatever, I can open it up. Like these mornings, I set my alarm for 3:30 in the morning, and I basically just went out. I left the door open to the observatory, and so the air could keep the mirror nice and cool. And basically walked out to it, uncovered it, plugged in the computer, told it to slew over to Jupiter, and that was it. Then I could image. So saves a lot of time, makes it a lot easier to do this, especially when you do it often and have a normal life, or try and have a normal life, and which is almost impossible with any sort of astronomy and astrophotography like this. If you're going to do it seriously, you can. I mean, I'm not going to mince words. It takes over your life. This is pretty much the way it goes. It's a rabbit hole that goes deep, and once you kind of get hooked, it's hard to focus on a lot of other stuff or much else. So, I mean, I do have a day job, a normal day job. Yeah, now I can see Europa and Ganymede at the same time. That's cool. I have a normal day job, and I have to do that every day. I've got a family, and, so I do my best to try and get this. Unfortunately, not retired like my friend Clyde, who's also imaging. He's able to spend, time during the day doing his image processing, so he gets images out, darn near real time, which is awesome. I'm actually not able to do that most days. Kind of have it. Oh wow! Seeing conditions just pop nice. You can really see quite a bit of detail on the planet now. Oh my goodness, that's nice. I mean, it still looks fuzzy on YouTube, I'm sure, but here, I mean, I can see that just a few moments of greatness. And we've been talking about this a while back, but you can really see, it seems like this time, right about, there's just like a 20-minute, 30-minute period where seeing conditions just get really good just as the sun pops. It's so cool to see this. Well, thanks, Glenn. Appreciate the comment. good to have feedback. But yeah, I mean, like it's so nice. Like when I started this journey in 2012, you know, I mean, I actually shot a little bit of planetary with my DSLR on my Dobsonian telescope, and I built an equatorial platform. And I just got hooked. You know, it's like you just get into this and you don't want to really do anything else, which is a problem sometimes. But it's actually awesome. And now that, I mean, I've met Clyde and Clyde Foster, you should seriously Google his images. It'll probably pop up on the Alpo Japan, which is, I forgot what it stands for. It's planetary. It's a virtual planetary observatory. There's another website called PVOL, P-V-O-L, where we post our images, you know, and basically the planetary scientists will use those images if there's something interesting going on there. They'll monitor them, because the thing is, you know, there isn't a lot of professional astronomy that does real time or constant monitoring of the planets, you know, and so they actually do. It's strange, but they depend on amateur astronomers like myself to submit, you know, our best work, or just any work really, to these online virtual databases. Oh, I'm gonna go let my dog in. My dog just woke up. Hey, Vega. Come on. Hey, come on. Hey, come here. Come here. Oh, have you guys met Vega? Check it out. Whoa, it's okay. It's okay. See, look, this is Vega. You want to say hello? Don't touch the keyboard though, because we're imaging. There. How's that, huh? Hello? Say hello, Vega. You. So this is Vega. She's named after a star, obviously. She's always excited. Okay. There you go. Yeah, I know. Oh, you're so excited. She's so excited to see me in the morning. Don't know why. But, there we go. That's awesome. Yeah, so as I was saying, Glenn says he got hooked as an elementary student, somehow got lucky enough to make it my profession. You know, it's weird. When I got started doing this stuff, I mean, just looking at the sky, whatever. Also, when I was a student, I think everybody, and I give talks sometimes on astronomy and or just the cosmos and space and stuff, usually to corporates and things, and try and, you know, get those people to look up more often, because this stuff is important. You know, it's more important than we think. Like, you know, a lot of people say, like, well, why are we going to the moon? Why are we going to Mars? What's the point? You know, what's the point of the space program? What's the point of all this astronomy crap, right? Well, the thing is, without doing this stuff, I like to tell these people that question it, that there's problems out there that we never would have to solve on Earth. So, you know, if we didn't try and do these things that we never thought were possible, we'd never run into problems that we would never have to solve here on Earth, and then we can, you know, take that technology and push society forward, you know, with technology that never would have happened. So anyway, I think everybody, no matter what, you start talking about space, they turn into a child. You know, they turn into a kid. There's space in all of us. We love it so much, and you know, you kind of push it back, and you think like, oh no, it's like, oh, that's just for kids. Kids love planets. Now adults love planets too. There's a kid in all of us, I think. So you know, anyway, I got kind of hooked as a child as well. I went to space camp when I was a kid in Iowa at the local science center, and built model rockets and did all that stuff. And we were all, my friends and I were the nerds in school. And I don't know, I never really thought about the whole telescope thing and taking pictures and stuff until I was an adult and kind of got into it again. And I got my first telescope back in 2012. It was a 10-inch Dobsonian telescope. And, I got a pair of binoculars, and I'll never forget sitting in my backyard behind the eyepiece of the Dobsonian looking at Jupiter in Iowa in like this freezing cold weather. It was like 10 degrees Fahrenheit. I'd be outside. I couldn't feel my feet. I couldn't feel my hands. I'd just be looking at the planet, trying to catch a glimpse of the GRS or a moon doing a transit or something, and waiting for that for hours in the cold. And I didn't even care if I couldn't feel my feet. And I think if you can go through this insane discomfort for this thing that you love to do, then that means that it's worth it. If you can do it when it sucks and you still are excited, then that's definitely worth it. So I don't know, that's where kind of the passion for it for me came from, was this feeling of just pure excitement. Like even now, every single time, I just love playing with this equipment. I love solving the problems that I've got to solve with it. And when the planet, rolls into view, every time, like even in the guide scope. So this is here's the decent view that you're seeing now. But okay, let me start this capture. Check this crap. Oh, never mind. You're not going to see anything there because it is too bright. So the guide scope is useless. Anyway, sometimes you see like this this big bright ball in the middle with the planets or the moons on the sides, and even when that scrolls into view, it's like, oh wow, I can see the moon and the planets and the moons are on a different object other than our own, and it's just flipping incredible. So yeah, I love it. It's so cool. But notice this. So we're in infrared, 742 nanometer infrared, and the sky is really quite bright now. You can see that in the telescope camera. And but in the scope view through the infrared sensor. Hello, Steffi. Hello. Here's dog number 2. Dog number 2 came to visit little dog Steph. Oh yes. Oh. So yeah, both the dogs were named after astronomy and space type of things. So Steph, they're both rescues, and Steph was named after Stephen Hawking. She was adopted on the same day that Stephen Hawking passed away. So, yeah, the astronomy and the space stuff kind of made it through into my pets. But they're not pets, they're part of the family. Steph the space dog. Vega the star dog. Well, this is actually pretty good. I've probably shot way too much IR, but you never know which one of these is going to be really good. So I'm gonna move to a wider view after this capture is done, and so I can capture the moons with it, and use those because I'll use this wider view. So I'll do a view of the whole screen, and I'll use that wider view to help me make sure that the angle of rotation is as exact as it can be. So the software that I use for processing is called WinJupos, and it is awesome free software that basically helps us process these images and to be even better, that we can combine data from different times during the night into one final image. But what it does is it takes it, because the planet rotates really quickly, about every 9.5 to 10 hours. It does a full rotation of Jupiter, which is amazingly fast. Anyway, so I take this wide field. Good night, Glenn. Thanks for joining. Thanks again. And yeah, so. Oh, is Tanya going to say hello? Yeah. No. Tanya just woke up. I use the wider view, which I'm going to switch to now. Let's see how this is going to work. I need to move this direction. Oh, whoops. Damn it. I just messed up the focus. Okay, there we go. That's better. That's back. Okay. I need to change this. I'll leave the ephemeride information alone. Okay, I'm just going to have to do the whole thing. I'm going to do the whole screen because I want to get those moons. Jesus. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's about as good as we're going to get, to be honest. Seeing just took a huge dive, so it is definitely time for me to capture this and wrap it. I'm going to do 120-second capture of this wider view. Wow, seeing just got horrible all of a sudden. Definite. It's going to pop in and out real fast. So this is that time of day when it gets real nasty. But I need to get this view so I can get these two moons and the planet in the same view, and I'll use this capture view to align the rotation so that when all the images get stacked as the planet rotates, it would use this wider view to make sure that my rotation settings to the software are correct. And that is a tip that that I was tipped off from Anthony Wesley in Australia. It's actually an amazingly good tip. So helps a lot. So yeah, I'm just capturing this wide view, and then I'm gonna, after this wide view is captured, I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it on the screen, and then we'll close up the stream for the evening. Thanks again. I might get another wide view just because it's nice. Do another one of these. Okay, yeah, this is just nice. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just capture this wider view. So you've got Jupiter with a great red spot. You've got Ganymede, and you've got Europa, all in the same frame right now, all on screen through my telescope that you can see on screen at Greenside Observatory in my backyard. You guys can ask any questions you want anytime. My social media handles are all the Astro Shake Ask anything, anytime, and I will definitely do my best to answer. And you can always check out photographingspace.com for like a whole bunch of free tutorials on astrophotography and some other good resources that that we do. So I'll be back the next time I do this. There'll be another Telescope Time Machine live stream again soon. So thanks for joining, and I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. Thank you very much, and enjoy. Cheers.